What is up, YouTube? Sea-Lord here, bringing you guys a deck profile. Now, this is my Zoodiac deck. This particular deck I used in another video. Now, the question of whether or not that video will come up or not is a different story because the camera died in the middle of that video. But, let's go on and get on with this deck profile. So, for the main deck, we have one Thoroughblade, 2 Rats, 3 Whiptail, which is pretty standard. Now, for the non-Zoodiacs, these are going to be the hand traps first. Flying Sea, 2 DD Crow, 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and 1 Maxi. I find that even though Maxi is at 1 right now, it's still a very good card. I was playing at a tournament recently, and I drew this thing way too much. And with the fact that most Zoodiac decks use 2 Daigusto Emeralds, it's actually very easy to recycle it if I need to recycle it. Now, the Speed Red Engine, the 3 Terratops, and the Take Tomborg, and 1 Lunalight Black Sheep. Now onto the spell cards. Triple Zoodiac Barrage, Double Fire Formation Tenki. I know a lot of people use this at 3. I don't like it at 3 in the deck. I feel like it clogs up too much, which is why I put it at 2. Anyways, 2 Fusion Substitutes, 2 Instant Fusions, 2 My Body as a Shield, 2 Twin Twisters, and 1 Book of Moon. The Book of Moon is basically in here for the mirror match. When my opponent, summons their Trident, I Book of Moon it kind of deal. The Book of Moon is just very good in general. It can be used offensively and defensively. And I almost never, don't want to see it. When I see it, it's always good. There's very rare occasions that when I see it, I don't want to see it. Next, the trap cards. Triple Solemn Strike, 2 Dimensional Barriers, 1 Combo, 1 Torrential Tribute, and 1 Imperial Order. Now, I know some people don't like Imperial Order right now, which it's kind of weird if you don't like Imperial Order, but a lot of people's argument is, oh, well, I can chain Twin Twister to it. But the thing is, with Imperial Order, never just activate Imperial Order out of nowhere. When your opponent activates a card like Twin Twisters or Raigeki or something like that, that would be extremely detrimental to your board, that's when you activate the Imperial Order in response to it. So let's say my opponent drops a Twin Twister, right? They have to pitch for cost no matter what, and they say, oh, I select these 2 cards. Then I activate the Imperial Order in response, and now they lost the Twin Twister. Now, if they have another Twin Twister, they could also activate that. But at that point, they discarded 2 cards, and they lost 2 cards from hand. So if this, for example, was turn 1, they would only have 2 cards left in hand at this point. And the Imperial Order, even though it would get destroyed in that particular scenario, would put your opponent at such a negative that they probably wouldn't be able to come back from it. I mean, yes, Zoo can come back with 2 card combos, but the fact is, if you're getting rid of a lot of their key cards in that scenario, they can't really do much. Alright. Next, let's go on to the extra deck. Alright, for the extra deck, I play 1 Trident. I don't think 2 is necessary. You can recycle Trident. So, honestly, I don't find it necessary to have more than 1. 1 Borbo, 2 Tiger Mortar, 2 Broadbull. Now for the non-Zoodiac Xyz, 1 Gagaga Samurai, 2 Daigusto Emerald, Abyss Dweller. Now, I use Abyss Dweller because, water kind of decks tend to be pretty prominent right now, and Abyss Dweller is very good against all of those, big water decks, because the big water decks love to use graveyard effects and things like that. And Abyss Dweller is just really good for that. And, overall, it's a very solid card if you want to stun your opponent that has a graveyard reliant deck. And a lot of them are these days. Anyways, to continue, 1 Totem Bird, 1 Invoker, 1 Norden, 1 Stardust Dragon. The Stardust Dragon's in here because I side decked Starlight Roads. And then finally, 1 Brionic. Now, the reason why I use Brionic is because even though I don't have a lot of ways to bring him out, Brionic is actually very, very good still. Brionic is very disruptive, and I actually, while I was playing in a tournament, I basically was going up against a monster that could not be destroyed by spell traps, monster effects. It could still be bounced, which was the good thing about it. And, I had the Terratop in hand, and I had a Ghost Ogre in hand. So, what I did was I specialed the Terratop, searched the Take, special the Take, normal the Ghost Ogre, synced the Take and the Ghost Ogre into Brionic, and then just went from there. Now, I could have also just special summoned the Terratop, normal summoned the Ghost Ogre, and used the Take I had added as my discard for the Brionic, which probably would have been a smarter play. But I had cards in hand that I wanted in graveyard at the time. So, but that's the main deck and the extra deck for my Zoodiac build. I'm not going to show the side deck, just because side decks vary per person, but cards that I would recommend using in every side deck for zoos would be Forbidden Chalice, and using, Starlight Road and things like that. But anyways, this is my Zoodiac deck. Sea Lord from Team Dankskull, signing out.